I just finished watching TNA Victory Road 2009, a pay-per-view I had very high hopes in. I thought it would be better than it was. Still, I would not say it was that crappy of a pay-per-view. Of course, Sacrifice and definitely Slammiversary were a lot better as a pay-per-view. Lockdown was better too. But I think this was better than Against All Odds, Destination X, and a lot of these early year pay-per-views that TNA gave us. But to summarize this pay-per-view, I would have to say it is kinda flat line. You didn't get the feeling of something transpiring, getting bigger and bigger and bigger till the main event. Now I know that Kurt Angle had allegedly had an injury going into this match. I don't know what kind of injury, I just read it briefly. This is just rumors, because on the other hand he did a moonsault that he missed during the match. That's the kind of move you shouldn't do when you're injured. But that could be the case. There is a rumor saying that he was injured. And Mick Foley isn't in the prime of his career, so they had a lot of math-based wrestling. What I liked about this pay-per-view is the way that they separated the card into two pieces. You could say one low card and one main card. Had the low card matches, of course, Matt Morgan versus Daniels, Abyss versus Dr. Stevie, the TNA Knockout title match. You had the IWGP tag team titles between Dudley's and British Invasion. Then you went into these top card matches featuring all main event Mafia and their mission to become an all-dominant championship, current championship reigning force. Just came up with a new word. And well, I guess main event Mafia's new theme is not just being a former champions faction, first ever. They are now a current champion faction, champions. They have all the titles in TNA except the X Division and the Knockout title. And I like that. I could see it, of course, going into the pay-per-view, and with Kurt Angle during this pay-per-view telling main event Mafia that if you don't win, you are out. I kick you out as the Godfather. You are thereby you're excluded from main event Mafia. I don't think they needed to do that, because it made it more obvious that, of course, I wasn't sure. There could be someone going out. I didn't see Samoa Joe joining, and I try to avoid reading too much spoilers and rumors on the internet, so I didn't see Samoa Joe coming and Sting going out. So you couldn't know for sure, but it felt kinda obvious that, I mean, Kurt Angle wasn't gonna lose the title to Foley. And once you saw Nash beating AJ Styles, you could pretty much make the assumption that Booker T and Scott Steiner were gonna defeat Beer Money. I don't have anything particular against main event Mafia having all the titles, but I didn't like the way they won the titles, because I think the way Nash won the title, yeah, he had it going early on in the match, methodically working AJ Styles down, punishing him. Styles came back, had the match won, and then he just won with a chokeslam. It felt kind of cheap, kind of lucky shot. It didn't feel, if they were gonna book main event Mafia to win all the titles, they should have done it booking them in a more dominant way, or have interference, outside interference from other Mafia members come into play. They didn't do that, and I don't know why. Nash's victory felt cheap, and I must say I'm pretty disappointed in the Beer Money versus Booker T and Scott Steiner match. It felt poorly rehearsed. It felt like I mean, you have this pattern of how a tag team match could look like, the standard way. The WWE does it all the time, and TNA now did it both in this TNA tag team title match and in this IWGP championship tag team title match between Dudleys and British Invasion. Though the Dudleys are great workers, and so are Beer Money, so they had a good match. Booker, Steiner and Beer Money didn't have a good match. And the same thing there, their win felt so cheap, and the way there were so many things that made me frown, because you had Storm, Earl Hebner taking Storm away, spitting beer in Earl Hebner's eyes for absolute. What? I don't remember exactly how it went down now, but when I watched it, is how the hell could Hebner think it was intentional, and why did he go after? Yeah, it was like this. I think it was Rude who had one of the Mafia members pinned on the floor. It was 1-2. Booker pulled him out of the ring to save Steiner from being pinned. I think that was the case. And the referee, Earl Hebner, he blames Storm for that. I mean, why the hell would Storm pull the referee out of the ring when his team had the match won? Weird logics, and all of a sudden they got a roll up and they got a win. That's what really bothered me. Angle is a dominant wrestler. He's a much better wrestler, and he should beat Foley. There's no need to talk further about that. It wasn't that good of a match either, but